everyone. Welcome back to M English Lab. I'm your host, Emma, and I'm here with my awesome co-host, David.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be back, and we've got a really interesting topic for you today. One that so many people struggle with when learning or speaking English.
Absolutely. Today's episode is called Talk English Without Thinking. And no, we're not asking you to turn off your brain entirely, but we are talking about how to stop overthinking every single word when you speak English.
Exactly. If you've ever frozen mid-sentence because you weren't sure about your grammar or spent 5 minutes in your head just trying to translate a simple phrase, this is for you.
We'll talk about why we do that, how it holds us back, and most importantly, how to break free from that habit so you can speak English more fluently, more confidently, and way more naturally.
And we're going to keep it real, share some personal stories, and give you practical tools you can start using right away.
So, David, let's be honest. Have you ever totally blanked out or overthought while speaking English?
Oh, 100%. I remember once in college, I was trying to ask my professor a question, but I kept replaying the sentence in my head. Like, is it could you explain or can you explain? Is explain even the right word? By the time I spoke, I just said, never mind.
Oh no, sounds so familiar. I had a moment like that in a job interview. I knew exactly what I wanted to say in my head, but I kept trying to make it sound perfect. I paused, corrected myself like 3 times, and the interviewer just stared at me. I think I lost the job to my own brain.
I've been there. It's so common. And I think most people don't even realize how much mental energy goes into just talking, especially in a second language, right? It's not just about vocabulary or grammar, it's the pressure.
You're thinking, what if I make a mistake? Will I sound stupid? Is my accent too strong? And that fear creates a kind of block. It's like trying to drive with the brakes on. You're moving, but painfully slow and full of self-doubt.
Exactly. And you know what the irony is? The more we overthink, the worse our English sounds. It's stiff, it's robotic, it's not how people really talk.
Totally. Which is why today we're breaking down that wall, because it's possible to speak smoothly, even if you make mistakes. And it starts by letting go of that need to sound perfect.
So true. And later, we're going to give you tips and even a little live speaking challenge to help you actually practice this. But first, let's dive into why our brains get in the way when we speak.
Yeah, let's break it down, because most people think, oh, I need more vocabulary or I have to memorize more grammar rules. But the real problem isn't the knowledge, it's the processing.
Exactly. It's not that you don't know what to say, it's that your brain is doing too much at once. You're trying to translate, analyze grammar, pronounce everything perfectly while also staying calm. It's like trying to juggle while doing math homework.
That freeze is what we call the mind block. It's when your brain is overloaded with pressure to perform and your thoughts get stuck instead of flowing out naturally. And it usually comes from fear.
Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding weird, fear of being judged. That fear triggers a kind of perfection mode, right? And in perfection mode, nothing feels good enough. You start second-guessing even simple phrases like, how are you? Or, I went to the store.
Let's give a quick example. Say someone wants to say, yesterday I went shopping, but instead of just saying it, they think, wait, is it go or went? Do I say yesterday first or last? Should I add to the mall? What if I get it wrong?
Exactly. And by the time you figured it out, the moment's passed, or worse, you say nothing. And that silence becomes a habit. The brain starts to believe it's safer not to speak than to mess up.
But here's the truth. Native speakers mess up all the time. They pause, say, use the wrong word, start over. It's normal. Totally. Speaking isn't a perfect science. It's a flow.
And when we treat it like an exam, we block that flow. So if you're listening right now and you've ever felt that brain freeze in English, know that you're not alone, and it's not a lack of intelligence.
It's a common mental pattern, and it can absolutely be unlearned. The key is getting out of your own way, and that's where the idea of talking without thinking comes in.
Talking without thinking. What do we really mean by that? We're not saying turn off your brain and say anything without meaning. It's not about being careless. It's about letting go of over-control.
Exactly. It's about speaking without obsessing, without filtering, without stopping yourself every 2 seconds to double check grammar in your head. It's the same as when you drive a car or ride a bike.
At first, you're thinking about every little movement, but later it becomes automatic. You just do it. That's fluency. That's what we want with speaking.
And here's the cool thing. Your brain already knows more English than you give it credit for. You just have to trust it to speak without micromanaging every word.
Love that. Trust is the key word. Think about kids learning to speak. They don't stop and ask, was that past perfect tense? They just try. They mess up and they keep going.
Right? And their confidence grows naturally because they aren't judging themselves every second. Adults, on the other hand, tend to think they need to be perfect before they speak, which is backwards.
You don't become fluent and then speak. You speak, and that's how you become fluent. Boom. That's the philosophy in one sentence.
Exactly. So when we say talk English without thinking, we're talking about building the courage to speak freely, trusting what you know, and letting the conversation flow.
And here's the best part. When you stop overthinking, your natural rhythm, tone, and confidence start to show up. That's when you sound real. That's when people connect with you.
Now, let's get into the real-life mistakes and mental traps. Trap number 1. Translating in your head. You're trying to form your sentence in your native language first, then translate it into English word by word.
This one is huge. The problem is languages don't work like math. The structure is different, the rhythm is different, so the translation ends up awkward or wrong, and you feel stuck.
And it slows you down so much. Your brain's like, wait, what's the English for? Boom, conversation over.
Trap number 2, grammar obsession. You're in the middle of a casual conversation, and suddenly you're debating whether to use the present perfect continuous.
Oh man, you're at a cafe ordering coffee and you're worried about conditionals. No one cares. Just get the coffee. Perfection slows fluency. Mistakes are part of the process.
Trap number 3, fear of judgment. This one's subtle but powerful. You start thinking, what if they laugh at my accent? Or what if I sound stupid? And that fear makes you go silent.
Let's give a quick role play to show the difference. David, you be overthinking Oliver, and I'll be relaxed Rachel.
David Oliver. Went yesterday, market, apples, many fresh. Is it okay?
Emma, Rachel. Hi, I just went to the market. They had so many fresh apples.
That was painful, but real. We've all been Oliver at some point, but Rachel gets her point across, and that's the goal.
Exactly. She may not be perfect, but she's confident and she's connecting. So if you're stuck in any of these traps, don't beat yourself up. Just recognize it and move forward.
Now, let's shift gears. It's time to talk solutions. How do we actually stop overthinking?
Let's start with the mindset. Mindset shift number 1. Progress over perfection. You don't need perfect grammar to communicate. You need clarity, confidence, and consistency.
Mindset shift number 2, fluency is built through use, not waiting. Stop waiting until you're ready. Speak now, speak messy, speak often.
Let's get into strategies. First strategy, think in English. Even when you're alone, describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm going to the store. Train your brain to stay in English mode.
Second strategy, shadowing technique. Listen to a native speaker, YouTube, podcast, movie. Pause after each sentence and repeat it out loud with the same tone and speed. No time to overthink, just speak.
Third strategy, 1-minute freestyle. Set a timer for 1 minute. Pick any topic, food, your weekend, your dream job, and speak non-stop. No stopping, no editing, just go.
And pro tip, record yourself. It feels weird at first, but it lets you hear your real progress. Plus, you start getting comfortable with your own voice in English.
Another great one, use filler phrases to keep talking. Things like, let me think. What I mean is, well, it's kind of like, they help you stay in flow even if you're searching for the next word.
Yes, native speakers do this all the time. It's totally okay to pause, to breathe, to say and one more strategy. No pausing to look things up mid-sentence. That kills flow.
Exactly. If you forget a word, explain around it, like the thing you use to open cans, instead of pausing to Google can opener. That's real fluency.
Now it's time to actually try it. This is your moment to speak English without overthinking. We're going to guide you through a quick speaking challenge.
Ready? Here's how it works. We'll give you a topic. You'll speak about it for 1 full minute non-stop. No translating.
Your first topic is my morning routine. Go ahead, start speaking now.